I am in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I thought I'd bring you along. This is not a usual vlog. There's no gaming, there's no tech. I'm on a graffiti tour in Buenos Aires. I'm finding out a lot. Apparently graffiti started here with the middle class. It was actually just kids copying what they saw in the States, and then it became more of a political way to speak out. But it actually started with just middle class kids, which was surprising because graffiti started in the US as a sort of way for the minorities to fight out. Anyway, we're on this tour and I'm gonna walk you through and show you some of the incredible art because it is amazing. Look at that.
My name is Circa, I'm gonna be your guide. It turned out that the guys were really open, really friendly, really transparent about what they were doing. It wasn't sort of something that was happening kind of under the cover of darkness. And that was really how it began. It was just a chance meeting that gradually developed into a friendship. The guys would call the girls up and let them know when they were going to go paint so they could go hang out. The girls gradually got introduced to other friends of the artists, many of whom were artists as well. And they really realized that there was this whole culture of street art happening here that nobody was talking about. So with the permission of the artists, we began to run these tours, originally as a way of just spreading the word about this really interesting scene that was happening here with the people who were visiting, like you guys. But as the tours started to become popular and as the artists started to become more well known, the girls quit their full-time jobs and they began to concentrate on this project full-time. So now there are 8 of us who work for Graffiti Mundo. None of us are trained tour guides. We all come from different backgrounds. I'm an architect, there are some art historians and journalists who work with us. One guy's a photographer, the girls who started it were in advertising. So we all do this because we're really passionate about the project and we really believe that there's so much talent in Argentina worth celebrating.
So this is pretty cool because normally graffiti artists don't really share their details, but the guy that did this piece over here actually, zoom in a little bit so you can see it. So he did that piece and then he signed all his details here, so if people wanted to find out more information they could, which is kind of cool. Also did it with like more smaller acrylic brushes as opposed to like the big rollers and things. That's quite a new one, so it happened last year. Boring. I like bright, crazy colors with spray paint, so I'm hoping we're going to see more of that.
3 or 4 years ago now, these messages began to appear all along this street, and then a few weeks later, messages to his son, Tomas. You can see across the street in red on the right where it says Tomas, and also on the left in green. So messages to his son started to appear. So you might sort of think if you're a kid that it's pretty embarrassing, right? That your dad is writing, that he loves you all along the street. But a police officer stopped one day and he told us that my father actually has a restraining order out against him and he can't see his kids. His kids go to school 2 blocks from him. So I mean, we don't know what this father did, obviously. I mean, the police officer couldn't tell us. It's sort of a sad story or a creepy story. I mean, maybe these kids are better off, who knows. But it just really goes to show you, you know, the range of people who are using the streets as a means of social communication.
So you heard that story about the father, but check this out. The kids' names and their dad's name in kids' handwriting with the heart. So it's almost like the kids replied to their dad's messages. Lots of artists here don't do work for money because they don't really put a lot of value on money, so they'll do work for like an exchange. They'll exchange art to do other art, or funny enough, they do a lot of work for weed. So if you give them weed, they'll paint the wall of your house, which I think is pretty cool. They also don't use spray paint as much. I spoke about that earlier, so it's more like rollers, buckets, acrylics and stuff like that. And that's predominantly because the cost of spray paint here is quite expensive. Those are really strong political symbols for 5 500 children and their moms were killed and they were basically sold off to a regime. I'll put the whole story in a montage right now. That'll never be painted over. Specifically because it's above the playground. The most simple piece of art that we've seen the whole tour, and it's probably the most meaningful.
Hollywood in Cambodia, which is the first street art gallery, headquarters of street art in Buenos Aires. This is Darío, aka Malates.
Me and my partners met each other like painting on the street. Basically, street art was not what you see right now at all. And yeah, we started to paint together, to work together, because we kind of saw alike. We kind of like the same things, and I don't know. Years passed and there were no ink gallery or space or anything like interested in street art. It was like a, I don't know, we felt that it was like a really new thing coming up, and it was kind of sad that no one like paid attention to that. So at one point of our history life, Pablo and Fabio, the owners of the bar, like rented the space to set up a bar, and the walls were like horrible dark green. They didn't know what to do with them, and they saw a book about stencils that just came out, and our contacts were there, so they decided to call us. We thought it was going to be a job, paint a bar. And we ended up liking the guys very much, the space very much, and as I said, there was no space to show beside the public walls, to see what all these amazing artists were doing back then. So we decided to propose them to exchange the labor of painting this whole space for those small rooms up there to make exhibitions, and that's pretty much it. Has been like 117 exhibitions in the beginning, 10 years. A lot of today, like world famous Argentinian artists like made their first exhibition up here. So yeah, it's pretty much like a hot water hangout spot club platform to support all those amazing artists that are working out there.
There's also a big party here later to celebrate their 10-year anniversary. So that's it. That was the Buenos Aires Graffiti tour. I'm gonna go drink some beer.